on nothing more than a hunch or what the teams did last year. Well, not our next guest. He's one of the authors of Pro Football Prospectus 2007. Some might call it the Bible of statistical projections for the upcoming season. It looks more like a phone book. A ton of information goes into this, and Aaron Schatz joins us now to tell us what all of that means. Aaron, thanks for joining us. In looking through it, you have an interesting take on the Falcons, but an even more interesting take on how they might do without Michael Vick. What is it?
Well, I mean, we break down every play when we do our analysis, and over the last 3 years, 2 out of the 3, Joey Harrington has come out as a better passer per play than Michael Vick, and the other year they were equal. Now, obviously, he doesn't have Michael Vick's running ability, that ability to sort of change games with one play, so there's much less risk and reward with Joey Harrington, but we don't really see the Falcons being a much different team with Harrington than with Vick as far as wins goes. We saw them as a 6-10, 7-9 team before. We see him as a 6-10, 7-9 team now.
Very interesting. Lots of debate as to what kind of season Randy Moss will have in New England. What do the numbers tell us?
Well, you know, the fact is he's had 3 down years. I mean, they're not that down. He had a lot of touchdowns 3 years ago. He had a lot of yards 2 years ago. But you can use the excuse that playing in Oakland sucks out your soul for 1 bad year. You can't for 3 down years. He's just not going to go back to being that player that he was 4 or 5 years ago, who was at the top of people's fantasy draft boards and, you know, catching double-digit touchdowns every year. He's really 1A and 1B with Dante Stallworth. He's not the #1 receiver in New England. So we see him having a good year for a team that's going to be very good, but not a spectacular year.
It's hard to project how a rookie will do in the NFL, but which first-year player do you see having the biggest impact in the NFL?
Well, it's almost always, as far as first-year impact, it's almost always about running backs. And the running back with the biggest opportunity in his rookie year is Marshawn Lynch, because Buffalo really has a big hole open at that running back position, whereas Adrian Peterson has to compete with Chester Taylor, have to give some third down to Mewelde Moore. Long-term, we see Adrian Peterson as much more of a superstar candidate, but short-term, Marshawn Lynch should have the bigger rookie year.
Which big-time player do you see falling off a bit in 07?
Oh, no doubt, Larry Johnson. We have been talking for 3 or 4 years now about the curse of 370. Running backs who have over 370 carries in a season, normally they either get injured or lose effectiveness the next year, unless they were Eric Dickerson. He's really the only exception historically.
Really?
So we see Larry Johnson as either getting injured or falling off in yards per carry, possibly under 4 yards per carry. You also have to remember he's lost 2 Hall of Famers off of his offensive line in the last 2 years, Willie Roaf and now Will Shields.
Very interesting point. Based on your research and all of the numbers and your opinion, which team do you see winning the Super Bowl?
We definitely think New England is the favorite. Everything was trending positively for them before they even picked up the great free agent additions like Adelius Thomas. But if you want a long shot, we like Jacksonville, who has a ton of talent but had very bad luck last year, and Green Bay, with an improving young defense, but they need to find a running back.
All right. Well, short of taking Aaron to your fantasy draft, you can do the next best thing and pick up Pro Football Prospectus 2007. It has a lot of information in there, maybe more than you need, but if you're looking for a number or a stat or a fact, odds are you're going to find it in there. It is available online and in bookstores now. Aaron, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on.
And hour number 2 of ESPN First Take is underway.